100.9 The Cat, number one for new country famous friends. It's Chris Young and Kane Brown. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, do you want to tell everybody what happened to us last night?
I think we should. I think it's time. It's time.
Been waiting for a long time.
Yeah.
It's very embarrassing. Very embarrassing story for me. But
it was a very stressful story for me.
It happens. I mean, I guess. Maybe not a lot.
Maybe not a lot in Clifton Park, according to the doctor.
Right. But I'm gonna try to shorten the story quite a bit.
Sure.
Right? Because,
Time
with details. But basically, I was taking a propane tank from one place and moving it to another place.
So we could grill.
Right. And what had happened was the valve on top of the propane tank, when I closed it, it was broken, so it didn't actually close. It remained completely, utterly open, even though it was closed. Mm-hmm. So I closed it, and then I went to loosen,
Right.
And that's what it sounded like.
Yep, I know. I remember.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, wait a minute, this is closed. And meanwhile, I'm right over the thing.
Yep.
I'm loosening it. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking to myself, that's weird. And so I, close it again. And I'm still going. I'm like, well, this is really weird. It wouldn't be coming out the other end here. So something's not right. This valve must not be working.
All the while that's happening.
Yes.
You're not thinking, I should shut this off.
Nope.
Right.
Never even occurring to me at any point.
Right.
Just, going about my business.
Yep.
And then I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to, retighten this and leave this on here because it's basically keeping it closed.
And then get a new tank for the grill.
Smart. Right. So, meanwhile,
Yeah, it happened.
Okay. So I'm like, all right, Andrea, I'm going to go get a new tank.
Going up to the stewards.
So I go upstairs to brush my teeth, get myself somewhat presentable for the store. And by somewhat presentable, I mean same ragged T-shirt I was wearing and sweatpants.
Right, but you had clean teeth, so that's key.
But as I'm brushing my teeth, I realize I don't remember brushing my teeth. And also, I think I was just sleeping while I was brushing my teeth. Isn't that an odd experience? So I wind up going to the store.
Yeah.
Feeling that way. And I realize as I'm going to the store, I'm like, you know what I feel like? I feel like I'm high.
Yeah.
I feel like totally like, whoa, dude, what's going on? You know what I mean? Get to the Stewart's and I'm like, did I just drive here?
How did I get here?
I think I just drove here. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. I'm getting some propane. So anyway, I go through the whole transaction and I get home again. Fortunately, nothing has really kicked in heavily, but it's
right.
By this point, I know something is severely wrong with me.
And you have told me none of this. I know that none of this has occurred.
Correct. So I go to put the new tank on the grill, and now I have a new problem because that isn't sealing correctly. Mm-hmm. So blah, blah, blah. Get that done. Go inside. I'm like, Andrew, I need to talk to you. So I bring you outside. I'm like, just to be clear, this is now closed. Everything is closed off on this
propane,
tank here. And
right.
you're like, yes. I go, good, because I am high right now, and I don't even know what I'm doing, so I don't think we'll be barbecuing this evening.
Yeah.
And you were very disappointed.
I said, okay, well, let's stay. And what happened? And then you explained to me what happened in with the other tank.
And at this point, when I explained it to you, I was pretty coherent and right there with you.
Correct?
Yes. I mean, you were like, okay, everything seems to be fine.
Yep.
He's just a little bit woozy.
But you said, but what got me nervous was you looked at me and you said, do not leave my side. I do not feel comfortable. Do not leave my side.
Yes.
So we went out front and kind of started just to walk around the driveway.
Let me tell everybody the reason I said that is because at this point, now it's probably 20 minutes in, 20 minutes in, I am now slipping in and out of reality.
Right. You don't even know that you told me what was happening.
No.
So I said, okay, let's go out and get some fresh air. So we go to the driveway and I start Googling like inhaling propane and is propane. And I'm reading this. And the problem is not many people inhale propane. So there's not much on the internet about this.
Certainly not on purpose.
So it's like call poison control.
Right.
Make sure that, and you weren't the symptoms were very mild. You were out of it and dizzy, but you weren't convulsing. You weren't getting sick.
Physically, I was okay.
Correct.
My brain, however, apparently had been cut off of oxygen, and because there was this propane fumes or whatever in my system, in my bloodstream, I wasn't processing oxygen enough for my brain, so therefore I was completely and utterly out of it, to the point where I at one point thought, well, maybe this is it. Maybe I'm a goner at this point.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. I couldn't function in the real world for more than 2 seconds before everything were sure.
But also, that's what was going on in your mind.
Right.
But to me, you were speaking clearly. You were answering my questions in a timely manner. You really weren't slurring your words, but you could tell that you were like, cool, dude. You know, you could tell that's where you were, but you were okay. So I was nervous, but not panicky, which is very unlike me. So, because you kept saying, it's fine, I just got to clear it, we're fine. I'm like, okay.
Long story short, we did wind up, after a few phone calls and about a half an hour or whatever, right? We wound up going to the urgent care.
Correct.
And they were like, oh, this is odd. And they kept asking me questions like how this happened. And I felt like, I'm like, look, it happened. Okay. It was propane. I inhaled it. And, you know, which I guess is like the equivalent of like super, what's that thing that cans the people, the huffing?
Right. Yeah.
Like super huff.
Yes.
Not on purpose in any way. And by the way, do never do this. Trust me.
No. Oh my God, no.
It is the worst experience ever.
So I'm watching the doctor ask him these questions. And again, I'm semi-calm. And I'm looking at him, and he's looking at Sean, like he's looking him up and down, and I could tell he's analyzing, and I go, oh my God, I think he thinks he's having a stroke. Is he having a stroke? And then my panic sets in, because I'm like, now what if it has nothing to do with the propane? Because you had no burns, like they said, if propane touches your skin, it's going to burn you. So I'm like, maybe it has nothing to do with the propane. This is completely different. And then my panic sets in. But he said, no, here's what we're going to do.
So he put me on oxygen. He just gave me a mask with the oxygen, and said, let's see how this works. And within probably 20 minutes to a half an hour, I started to feel a little bit better.
Yep.
And then I stayed another half an hour just breathing.
Because it was helping you, yeah.
And that seemed to make me better and well enough to go home. But the best part about the whole thing... All right, you ready for everybody? Like, first of all, hopefully everybody learned their lesson. Be careful if your propane tank is leaking or whatever.
Get away from it.
Here's a good idea. Get away from it. Or close it immediately. Anyway, it was just dumb. So anyway, the best part of all this is I'm really embarrassed by the whole situation because I can't even think. And I know that I look horrible. I'm in the sweatpants and the whole thing. We did not expect to go anywhere.
No, I'm also in sweatpants and hair in a ponytail with makeup down my face.
And so after the last time the doctor was in the room with us, he's about to leave and he turns around and he goes, oh, by the way, radio, right? I was like, yeah. He goes, yeah, I recognize the voice. Yeah. So Great.
Now you know who I am and what I did. And the funniest part, too, is that you're sitting there and he's asking you all these questions. And after each question, Sean goes, did you just ask me a question?
Well, I didn't know.
And the doctor's like, yes.
But that's the thing. Like, somebody would ask me something and I'd answer him. And I would actually in my mind think, well done.
You did it, Sean.
Then I immediately thought, no, you just dreamed that.
Right.
That was just a dream. And then I'd be like, did we just say that? And, it was really, really.
So I said to the doctor,
it's like the worst high
do you
ever.
see this a lot? Like, is this common? And he goes, no, never. This is a first for me.
Anyway, it was really scary.
It was very scary.
But we got through it, and I'm still a little bit off.
Yes. Well, you said happy birthday to everyone this morning instead of good morning.
But I'm going to be okay, I think.